What's up, YouTube? Erod212 here with another video. So what time is it? It's that time. Time for the back nine. What are we going to talk about today? Recession-proof modern age books. All right, so last week we talked about vintage books that were recession-proof. Now we're going to touch on the modern books. I kind of hinted at that last time. Some bangers here. Definitely books that are a bit pricey, but these books stand the test of time, in my opinion. Big shout out to my man Ben C from CBSI for putting out this great channel here, giving us the support that we need to keep this channel growing and growing. If you guys have any suggestions, always shoot myself a text or comment in the videos. Also do the same thing on the CBSI website. There's a link in the description to that channel. Also, shout out to my man Phil from Vintage Comics and Toys for compiling this great information and bringing these topics to us. He's the man behind the, he's Oz. He brings everything to us, and I just sugarcoat it, paste it together, bring it to you guys with a little bit of Erod flair. Both of those great guys are on Whatnot, so make sure you check them out. Speaking about Whatnot, Attack on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday night, 7 to 8:30, myself, 8:30 to 10 o'clock, Very Gary, closing it out, Davis Ryder, for as long as he goes, bringing you guys nothing but quality books. There's a link in the description that'll get you $10 off your first purchase, so check it out. I'm almost at 1,500 subs. When I hit that, we'll be doing some nice giveaways. So make sure if you're not subbed up to the channels, make sure you sub it. Make sure you bookmark those shows because there's always good stuff on those shows. And stay tuned because I know Gary's bringing some crazy stuff to New York with some artists, and I might be going live from New York. So that should be really fun. It'll be a good time. But enough of that. Let's take a look at what we're here for. Let's take a look at what the guys from CBSI decided to pick as the modern books that we should be looking out for. All right, so my man Phil here, as always, presenting us nothing but quality, says, some investors only want to stay in the modern age, even though many of the key variants, hard to find comics in this era, are going down in value. This week, we are focusing on recession-proof modern age comics. Whether there is a recession going on right now, that is up for debate, and I have no interest in getting into politics or current events. However, it is undeniable the comic market has cooled off a lot, and there is a correction going on. The panel is recommending a number of books on where it may be safe to park your money. If you have any suggestions on any modern recession-proof comics, please let us know in the comments below. So first up is of course, the book. Peter Renner goes with Ultimate Fallout 4. Like Spidey, his modern replacement, Miles Morales, he will indeed stand the test of time. When people think of the modern key, they think about Ultimate Fallout 4. And think about that. A generation of 5- and 6-year-old kids right now grew up on that cartoon. That is the cartoon, the go-to cartoon, Marvel cartoon for parents to bring their kids to. They got introduced to Miles and Spider-Ham and Spider-Pig and all of those other characters. Think about 20 to 25 years from now when those kids are older and they're chasing after their, they have that disposable income and they're chasing after the things they love. Ultimate Fallout 4 will be that book. Now, Jack goes with Young Avengers #1. I think this book is criminally undervalued and there's so much room to grow. It marks the first appearance of some of Marvel's most interesting new characters, most of whom have only barely begun to scratch their true potential. Kate Bishop, Iron Lad, Wiccan, Hulkling, and Patriot all have so much potential, not just for movies and comics, but TV shows, video games, toys, podcasts, and so much more. That's a lot of potential for characters that have existed less than 18 years. The sky's the limit for Young Avengers 1. And we've already seen Marvel is hinting completely at this. Let's see in the next Captain America if we see Ezekiel come out there again, that all we need to see is Iron Lad now and Hulkling, and we really have everybody there. Should be interesting, though. Steve goes with Spawn #1, an iconic book. It may drift down, it may drift up, but hard to imagine it ever selling for less than $100 in 9.8 on a consistent basis. There's hardly a day that goes by without one selling. Vintage, gotta think about that one. Almost did Tomb of Dracula number 10, but it's coming out in November of 2023, which means we're only a year away from people picking apart the trailers, actors, effects, and how it isn't going to meet their expectations, live up to past films, offend them, etc. Sometimes it seems we just can't simply enjoy it rather than dissect. But that's what happens. I agree with him. And I don't do that because I just take these movies at face value and go for entertainment. But when you have so many of them, this point, people become critics and everybody starts to criticize. But think about this. Think about 10 years back when we were getting nothing but maybe 2 movies a year, or the first one. Man, you didn't care what was coming out. You just loved it. I mean, people loved that first Fantastic Four movie. And those movies nowadays don't stand the test of time. So think about that. Van goes with Uncanny X-Men number 266. I love this book. While nowhere near the popularity of some characters on this list currently, Gambit was one of the most popular characters in Marvel Comics in the 90s. His first appearance in 266, it's definitely debatable that it's annual, number 14, has been a mainstay on dealers' walls at conventions for over 30 years. It's easy to see a resurgence in popularity for Gambit as well, because while tossed around Hollywood for years, he has never seen a live-action adaptation. He did. He was actually in not an MCU movie, but he was in an X-Men movie for a short period. The MCU could boost Gambit and 266 to never before seen heights. The upcoming X-Men animated series will only help his popularity as well. And you know what? This is a book that every time you see it at a show on a wall, somebody's looking to buy it. Be it raw or in 9.4 or better, this book moves consistently. There are so many people that grew up with X-Men Adventures, as they said here, that Gambit just stands the test of time. It's the same thing with Rogue. It's the same thing with Jubilee. Those characters got a huge, huge following because of that cartoon series. Now, Chris goes with Edge of Spider-Verse number 2. Like Miles, Ghost Spider has claimed a section of new comic fandom. Unlike many of today's new heroes, her first is also a first cover. There is no debate on the books to own, no confusion like Riri or Kamala. I remember this book coming out and the backlash it initially caught. But once you read the story, they did a really good job with this. You became endeared with this whole character from another universe. And when she finally comes over to the 616, man, game's over. And the way they introduced her, and Haley Stanfield playing her character, her voicing her, just epic. Big fan favorite, big cosplay favorite. And I always say this, when you see a lot of people cosplaying characters, you know the popularity is there. This is one of those characters. Now, Topher goes with my boy right here, Damian Wayne's first appearance, Batman 655. Damian Wayne's first appearance is very affordable, and I think ever goes below $15. It's a safe play. And then you have the Andy Kubert 1 in 10, which is just gorgeous, that brown cover. Damian Wayne is DC's bad boy. Love Damian Wayne. I think he has a lot of potential if DC gets their stuff right. And Stein goes with Amazing Spider-Man number 667, the Del Auto variant. Like ASM 667, Batman 608, RRP, and LOSH 23, all are recession proof. Of those 3, which is never going down, I feel like because only whales have the ASM 667 now, they will just keep it unless they sell for more than they paid. Like they will never blow it out. Now, this book will never blow out. It's so low print run. What is it? 667 copies, I believe it is, right? I mean, it's almost impossible. What's it? The number 2 highest variant of all time, probably behind Ultimate Fallout 4 modern variants. It's a killer cover, man. Delato crushed it on this. Good luck even seeing this book. I think I've seen it once at a show. Ali goes with another tough book to see and find. Siege number 3, the J. Scott Campbell variant. Rarely pops up, and when it does, it goes for big money. This is that era, that 2014, 13, when those ratio variants were coming out, and harder and harder, especially like a book like Siege, which stores weren't buying in abundance. And whatever this is, a 1 in 50, 1 in 100, I don't even know the ratio on this. Not many people were getting it, so tough books to get. Now, Phil goes with Invincible number 1. There's serious push for the Invincible universe. I just sold my only copy and I'm looking for an upgrade. Season 2 will give all the books a push. The live action will blow up the harder to find copies. Man, I tell you what, if you guys did not see Invincible on Amazon Prime, go check it out. One of the best cartoon series out there by far. And I mean, it was just so much fun. So that's the pick from the staff, and I'm going to show you my pick now. And I think you guys all know this is kind of one of my books. I love this book, and I believe in this book. So it should be no surprise that I'm going to show this book. But my pick is this, and that's NYX number 3. It's the first appearance of X-23 Laura Kinney. Wolverine's clone has become an endeared character in the comic community and has consistently risen in price. If this character is introduced into MCU, watch out. Remember, she was beloved in Logan. Just super, super beloved. Everybody loved this character in Logan. Everybody had a blast, but we want to see an adult Laura. What I would love to see is the MCU bring Laura in and touch on that X-Force where they were the Dark Ops team with Wolverine and Archangel and Psylocke and Deadpool and Laura, because that was just some fun stuff. And then, you know what? I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, how can we touch on all of these books and say that these books are the best of these, what we are calling recession-proof books that stand the test of time, continue to grow, and even no matter what the market is, these books hold their own and continuously increase without touching on this book. And the book I'm going to talk about is this one here. You should all know this, but to me, this is the big boy. This is the modern grail, I think. It's Ultimate Fallout 4, the 125 Marko Djurjevic ratio variant. This book has become the modern variant to own. Sales of this in a 9.8 have reached 40K without any type of casting of miles. Imagine what happens then. 9.6 goes for over 10K. Think about that, though, man. This book went, I mean, in 2 years, it just climbed. It hit 20. Everybody's like, never going to go higher. It hits 30. Then you had 2 sales at $40,000, which caused the 9.6, the 9.4, the 9.2 all to rise in price. Never would have thought this book would be the book it is. Imagine when Miles is cast. So that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what books you thought, if you thought these picks were good. And check these videos out because there's some really good content in them. Till my next video, peace.